Okay, I will attempt to show you cross sections in Topodroid. So first thing I want to tell you is that I am in the tester mode for activity level in the main settings. So any kind of options or dialog boxes that come up, I will probably have lots of choices. And I'm also using the latest version of Topodroid 6.3.7-35. So to draw cross sections, first thing is, let me open up a cave, hit the back button. Now I'm going to go to the drawing mode. So I hit drawing, I hit plan. So here's my cute little cave. Let's say that I want to do a cross section at station A3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the highlight button, and then I'm going to go down. Of course, it highlights everything. I want to just highlight station A3. So that's when the little button now is green. Then I'm going to go up to the Sketch Items Property button right here. And when I press that, I come up with this little dialog. It says Station A3. Okay, so there's several things I can do. I can leave comments for this station. I can also go down here where it says cross sections. Now I have a choice. I can have my cross section facing from station A2 to A4, or I can do it backwards from station A4 to A2. So I have to decide which direction I want to go. So let's say I'm going into the cave. I'm going to have my cross section from station A2 to A4. So when I press that, now what it does is it gives me that view of station A3, and here are the splays that I took, and you can see them in blue right now. So now I'm in a page that is just for the cross section, so all of my drawing tools will work. Now there's several things that I can do here. Like let's say that I took a whole bunch of splays and they were in the way. I can go up here and I can hide my splay shots, or I can show my splay shots. For me, for drawing right now, I'll show my splay shots. I also have my grid and my scale bar turned on so that I know what scale I'm at, but if I wanted to turn those off, again, if it got too cluttered, I would go up here to this libraries button, my sketch references. I can turn off the grid, I can turn off the scale bar. And now I just have a blank sheet, but I prefer grid and scale bar, so we will put those back on. All right, so now I have my little cross section. So I'm going to go to the draw menu, my red line for walls. I'm going to make this cute little cross section. We'll make a slope here and go up. Now I can also put some detail in if I wanted to. We'll put a couple of stalactites and we'll put some boulders. Okay, so now when I hit the back button, I go back to my sketch. There's several things that you can see here. I will zoom in here so you can see what I'm talking about. So at my station now, station A3, I have this box. This box is called a section point. The section point tells me several different things. That is where my cross section is going to be printed out. If I export this file in SVG or PDF, which could get pretty cluttered if I have an SVG and my cross section is right on top of my sketch. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to hit the highlight button, and then in the middle of this sketch box, I've hit the little point to highlight it. Now I can move that box out of the way. And you see that it's connected by an orange line, so that tells me that it's part of the station. Now, if I wanted to actually see what the cross section is to make sure that it's out of the way, I go back to my sketch item properties when this section point is still highlighted, hit this, And now I can change the size of my section point. This little box, I tend to just leave it on medium. But if I hit cross section right here, and then I hit save, what it does is it gives me an outline of the cross section that I just did. So now if I go back out, I can put my cross section out of the way of my sketch so that when it gets exported in SVG, it won't be crudding things up here. If for some reason later on I decided that the cross section was in the way, again at my highlight, I can highlight the section box and I can move it somewhere else. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to point out on this is, if we unhighlight this, let's go back in, zoom into the station, and you will see this yellow tick line. The tick line shows me the perpendicular to what my cross-section plane was. So if we look in red, my station legs A2 to A3 and A3 to A4. They're kind of almost at a almost straight, just a little bit offset. If I bisect that angle right there of those two stations, that is the plane where my cross section was taken with those splays. And you see the tick mark is perpendicular to that. So when you see a station with a little yellow line, that means that there is a cross section there. So let's say that I want to get back to my cross section. For some reason, I have decided that I didn't like the drawing or something. So there's two ways I can do it. Either I can go to highlight, I can highlight the section point, then I go to my sketch items property button, and then where it says draw, if I hit draw, it gives me my drawing again. So I could change something. I could, let's say, I don't know, I wanted to put in a stalagmite. Okay, then I hit the back button. And now again, this is giving me the outline. This outline is temporary. If I go back to my data page and then I come back to the sketch, this outline will not be there. It's just to show you where the cross-section is going to show up later on when you export. The other way that I can get to my drawing is if I zoom in a little bit. Again, I hit the highlight. I hit my station to highlight the station. Then I go up to the Sketch Items Property button and click on it. Then I come up to my cross-section. If I hit the cross-section, again, it gives me the drawing and I can change things if I want. Something else that I was going to point out, let's say that I just didn't like my cross-section at all and I wanted to get rid of it. What I could do is I go to the highlight, highlight the station, go to my Sketch Items Property button, and now when it says cross-section, I can go to delete and it's gone. There is just no more cross-section there. So now if I wanted to start over, I could highlight the station, go up to my Sketch Items Property, and now it starts all over again. Gives me the option of which direction I want to go. I could press that. I could go back into cross-section. All right, so in another video, I will show you how to do leg cross-sections, but this is probably enough for right now.